here. It is finally here. Episode 100 of the TFW podcast. That's Freakin Wrestling. We have done 99 of these things, and we got a special one for you on today's podcast. So excited for this. Thank you guys if you have been along for the journey. We'll get to our thank yous toward the end of this show, but you know I like to give up the thanks. And if it wasn't for y'all, we wouldn't even be doing this thing right now. Rhodesia out here looking like fine Michael Jackson from the 1984 Grammys with the sparkles. Look at her. My guy Eshaun representing the leather. What is up, y'all? We hit number 100. They told us it wouldn't last. Actually, nobody ever told us that. They told us we couldn't do it. Actually, nobody told us we couldn't do it. But we here. The haters are crying right now. We made 100 of these things. What's up, y'all?
Hey, I just want to go to the celebration. I know we have a whole show lined up.
You just want to drink.
I just
what you want to do.
I kind of do.
Bring it down. Bring it down.
I'm kind of ready for it, but
bring it down.
So, my heart rate's like 125 beats per minute. I just want to party. Like, come on. And you calling me MJ from 84 Grammys?
Ooh, look at her. Look at her. Boy, you done got about 8 Grammys in you right now. I represent that Thriller. Eshaun, what up, man?
What's going on? Hey, and Saraya, if you listen to the pod, look, Matt didn't mean no harm. He think his wife was like a man too, so he definitely didn't mean any harm by his comments.
That shouts out for the old folks. Maybe people weren't listening or down with the TFW pod. You want to tell them real quick what you mean by that?
Oh, yeah. So we had an awesome segment where Saraya, the beautiful Saraya, Matt compared her to a beautiful Michael, a beautiful MJ.
Gorgeous MJ is what I said.
Gorgeous
she looks
MJ.
like a gorgeous Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did a little video clip, put it up. Saraya saw it, and she was mad. A little mad, maybe big mad. Not sure.
She wasn't mad. I think she just put us over in her way. That was all.
Oh yeah, she definitely gave us some clips and some views. Absolutely,
that's all she did. So we appreciate Saraya. We love Saraya. We love everybody in this world, and we love all you guys for listening, checking us out. Like I said, we got
I don't
a
love
special.
Everybody. It's a couple y'all I hate.
Okay, well, easy. Well, we know one of them's Tony Khan in the AEW, so that's right on brand, right on time. We got some special guests on this podcast. It is time for them to show up because we talk about them more than probably anybody else. So we will get to that, of course. We're like kind of doing like a two-parter on this episode. We're going to give y'all the regular TFW talk that you know and love, and then we're going to get to the actual 100th episode celebration after that and kind of have some fun with that. So I want to start with word is now allegedly confirmed that there is no Roman Reigns showing up at Elimination Chamber. So all the talk, my scenario that I had of getting Rock and Roman at Elimination Chamber seems to be off. There is no Roman Reigns. CM Punk will be at the Chamber. So that goes to what we talked about in the last spot where I think we're getting Drew and Punk in February. But no Roman Reigns. It's time for us to do our booking. Whoever wants to go first. Now that we know there is no Roman Reigns versus Rock scheduled for Elimination Chamber, give me your best case scenario. Book it. What is the best case scenario now for Rock, Roman, and then Cody Rhodes finishing the story?
I didn't know I was supposed to think on this show. Let's see. I've always thought that it was going to be Rock and Roman at Mania. So can I just say revert to episode 99 to see what I thought? Or is that not going to fly on this episode?
Fly like a bird.
Give us your thoughts, lady.
I'm telling you, I've always said that it was going to be Rock, Roman, and Mania. Okay, so how are we going to get there? I don't know. I thought maybe something would have happened at Elimination Chamber to kind of set that up and tee that up for Rock, Roman, and Mania. Since we don't have that, I don't want to say that they're going to do something on a random SmackDown. So I'm actually kind of perplexed. So then now are we not seeing Rock and Roman at Mania? That makes me kind of feel like maybe we're not. But then why tease it? And then when would you do this again? When will we have the fight for the head of the table? So I'm really, really confused. I don't know. Saraya, bring back up.
So guys, Paul Heyman always tells us the truth in his promos. And he told us in his promo that we are going to get a new undisputed champion at Royal Rumble. And I think he's right. I'm telling y'all, I think he's right.
Paul Heyman said we're getting a new undisputed champion of the Rumble.
He did something to that regards. He said,
well, he said it's what did he say? It's virtually impossible for Roman to retain, or something to that effect. Like it's almost guaranteed. The way it's set up is for him to lose the title.
He told us what was his catchphrase.
It's a
not
spoiler,
a spoiler.
not a prediction.
It's a prediction.
Right. And that's what he did. They're taking that belt off him at the Rumble. And we're going to get The Rock and Roman Reigns at Mania for one of the main event slots at night 1 or night 2 for the head of the table. That's what that's going to be about. Because I believe that if Cody is positioned in some type of title match, I think there might be a little outrage. And I don't think it's just going to be from the the hardcore fans. I think it's going to be some of the WWE fans in general. I think they want to see Cody get his win, get his championship, and finish that story at Mania. I think that's what people want to see right now. Because what you can't do is have Rock challenging for the Undisputed Championship, cutting those promos he cut the other week. Look, because like that promo, I was going to come on the air and say it was a bad promo. I think, Matt, you did. I wasn't going to do that. Out of respect to him, I was going to be one. I was going to let it go, right? Sometimes, hey, look, sometimes when you got friends and you got family and they do something, off the cuff or unusual, you just act like it didn't happen. Like, right? You just act like it didn't happen. That's what that was. Rock's family for me. Like, look, I let that thing go. I wasn't going to talk about it. But that might be the kind of Rock we have now. Like, right? And if he's going to be cutting those types of promos, I think you're going to get some boos or some disruption from the fan base. They got to get that belt off Roman. Now's the time to do it, right? And then it gives Roman something to talk about in a couple months whenever he comes back, right? When his next hiatus, his next break he takes, he can come back and he can talk about how he never lost the championship. And that Cody has something to prove until he beats him. It sets up a whole nother thing for them at another Royal Rumble or SummerSlam, Mania. I think it makes perfect sense. I love it.
So your best case scenario is Roman loses at the Rumble, right?
Yes.
Who's he lose to?
Who's going to win the 4-way?
Yeah.
I'm thinking we're going to get Roman. I think Randy Orton's going to win.
Okay.
And I think LA Knight. No, I think AJ. AJ takes the pin.
Okay. So
AJ
Orton wins. So Roman does not take the pin, right?
Does not take the pin.
So then do you have Cody and Randy at Mania and Cody winning to finish the story?
That's how I got my glasses on. These are my reading glasses right here, guys. I'm ready for it right now. That's what this is the book that I'm looking forward to reading. This is a chapter I need in my life.
And then you have Rock Roman at Mania.
Sounds good.
Got it. Okay. So I put a little bit of thought into this because when I saw that, I was like, okay. I thought it was a possibility for Rock Roman at Chamber, but then I'm like, that's a WrestleMania match, right? It's got to be a WrestleMania match. So before we even do that, shout out to Rhea Ripley. I came on here and said last episode that, man, it sucks she's not gonna be able to main event Elimination Chamber if they do Rock and Roman. She's absolutely main eventing her home country now in whatever match she has. I think it's gonna be Nia Jax, but shout out to Rhea for that.
You heard it first here. You heard it first here
that's
on the TFW show.
So let's do this. For Cody's immediate gratification, if the number one priority is for Cody to finish the story over everything else, I would have The Rock cost Roman the title at Mania. Of course, Orton wins.
At Rumble?
Yeah, I'm sorry, at Rumble. Yep.
Okay.
Then I would have Cody win the Chamber to get a title shot.
Okay.
Then, of course, he takes on Orton for the title. And then you go Rock Roman.
So you
at
do
Mania.
have Orton winning, then the Fatal 4-Way.
Yep.
Got it.
So kind of the same thing that E just said.
Mhm.
If the number one priority is Cody immediate gratification, we got to get Cody the title. This is how you do it. For best case scenario for Roman would be Cody and Randy non-title match at Mania. Somehow they get into it over the next couple months. Maybe Randy turns heel, because there is an incredible story you can tell with them that is worthy of WrestleMania main event status. Roman, Rock at Mania. Roman
For the title?
retains, of course. Yes.
Right. Okay.
Roman retains. Roman beats Hogan's record.
Yes.
If this is all about making Roman the biggest star in modern wrestling history for WWE, right? That would be the way to go. Third one is a little, tell me what you guys think about this one. If we're just looking at our chips are down, our board is not set, we need to have the best possible case scenario for everybody involved. I would go Rock Roman at Mania for the title. So Roman retains at Rumble. I would go Roman beating Rock at Mania. I would then have Roman beat Hogan's record, which would be in September. So this entire run was all about making Roman the fixture and face of WWE going forward. The same way we look at Hogan, it would now be replaced with Roman. I would then have Cody challenge Roman at Survivor Series, which would just so happen be in New York City at Madison Square Garden, which is where Dusty Rhodes did not finish the story, where he held the belt up. It was in that building. And do it at Survivor Series. Cody wins that. So you were able to get everything you need. The only thing you didn't get was Cody finishing the story at Mania. But you got the biggest WrestleMania main event in history, Rock and Roman. You got Roman, which is this close to creating history and beating Hogan's reign. You got that. And then you still get Cody beating Roman. This time it's not at Mania, but it is in the same building that his dad didn't finish the story. Now, I don't know where Survivor Series is going to be at, but I think that would be best case scenario overall. Give me your guys' thoughts on that.
Sign me up for that. Sign me up for that. Because, you know, the underlying message there was that we beat Hogan record. So I'm fine with that.
That's what I'm interested in. That's what I'm interested in, because you guys want to sit on Roman Reigns being a seasonal champion for a whole nother year just to beat a record. I think that you guys are in a small group of people that actually even care about that. Like, I had no idea how long Hogan had that title until they brought it up, whenever they brought it up. And I think that the bigger fan base cares more about finishing the story than Roman breaking that record. At the end of the day, Roman Reigns is a heel anyway, right? So we're celebrating a heel champion who barely defends the title about, you know, beating another heel champion's reign. I mean, I just really don't care enough about that Hulk Hogan reign to break it, to have to sit through another year of he's not even part-time at this point. He's seasonal. And I think part of it is not that I'm tired of Roman. I really enjoy Roman. If I can get Roman Reigns to show up as much as he did maybe in 2021, right? He was considered part-time then. He showed up maybe once or twice a month. He wrestled on maybe every 2 or 3 PLEs. You know, I was fine with that. But this Roman Reigns that we see sparingly throughout the year, holding on to a championship on his formulatic matches that he has, like, I just don't want to sit through that just to beat Hogan. Like, I would rather finish the story than that reign. So I'm interested in how many people actually will rather see Roman beat the streak or see Cody finish the story.
Let us know. Let us know, guys. Hit us up. Of course, the YouTube comments. Hit us up on X. That's FNW. I'll be interested to know. The reason why I brought that up is because what if WWE's focus when they started this entire storyline was, hey, we hope to get Rock and Roman, but we want this reign to be the most talked about reign in the history of WWE. So if they do that, and we're looking at between April and November with my case scenario, really talking about from April to September of beating Hogan's record, that's not long at all. Yeah, you miss Cody's spot again, but we've talked about numerous times on the pod how they have an embarrassment of riches of superstar talent and over wrestlers in the company. That's not going to really hinder the product on TV. Now, if it was going to hinder the product on TV, I wouldn't even brought it up. I just don't think it's going to hinder the product. I think the product could be just as good, if not better, just because that finish. If he could do that in the same building that Dusty was in, man, that's tough. That's tough.
I mean, especially because I felt like he had part of his story written and completed being the main event of night 2 at last WrestleMania. So now if they can get Survivor Series at MSG, you couldn't write that even better. There was no way to write that even better. And I do think, I know the story is not taking the belt off of Roman. I just can't see them having Roman lose the title and he didn't even get pinned. That's the sticking point for me. Now, maybe even, okay, so then if we run with this and we say Rock cost Roman the title at Rumble and he gets pinned by Orton, I could digest that a lot better. But then it would feel like a consolation prize to me, though, if it's Orton and Cody for the title. Bingo. I was just about to say that.
Roman and, yeah.
I mean, I would feel like you said a perfect consolation prize. Like, so you're about to win this title off of Randy Orton after just 2 months of him holding it. Like, to me, I would, and I'm not as big as a Cody fan as he is and a lot of other people, I would just feel like you did him a disservice this whole time he's been back just for him to win it off of Orton at Mania, just to say that he got it at Mania. If we can get Survivor, the story is to take it off of Rock, but it almost is like you got to take it off of somebody who is so high. He fought this whole time, battle, climbing this mountain for years, keep going, just to win it off of Randy Orton. And I'm not saying that disrespectful to Randy Orton. I'm just saying that he would have been only the title holder for 2 months.
Yeah, you guys are disrespecting Randy Orton. Consolation prize is just Randy Orton. He's one of the greatest wrestlers of all times. And
so as an E fan,
yes, because the story isn't about Roman Reigns. The story is about him winning the championship that his daddy never won. So that's the story. Let's do that. And then, as I said, like, you guys, it sounds like you guys care a lot about Roman Reigns being number 2 in the record books. We don't care about number 2. We care about number 1. And so unless he's going to get the number 1 streak, who cares about number 2 and 3? That's why we talk about Michael Jordan.
The point blank question is, would you feel just as satisfied as Cody winning at Mania off of Orton? We're just saying Orton's going to win after him holding the title for 2 months. Then if he won it again, we're booking MSG for Survivor Series. Would you feel just as satisfied?
I would feel just as satisfied because number one, as a fan, I would rather see him win the championship at Mania than see to wait a whole nother year and just for Roman Reigns to defend every 6 months, have the same match every 6 months, just to beat a record that I don't care about.
So now here we go. Now we got ourselves in a conundrum here. So we know it's 2-night Mania, and we have probably 3 main event spots. Who's going to be the main event on night 1 and 2? If you have,
it's got to be Seth and Punk.
You got Seth and Punk, and you got Roman and Rock. Roman and Rock is not going to not go last on one of those nights.
Well, so now you about to. So you can't even do it. So then my last question to you guys. So my last question to you guys, and it is to you what you just said, Rhodesia. It is point blank. This is it. Then we can move on because I need you to book something else for me, Rhodesia.
Oh, I thought it was.
If you can only have one, you can only have one.
Only can have one.
Only one.
Only one.
You're getting Cody finishing the story at this year's Mania, or you're getting Rock Roman, and Rock Roman can only happen at this year's Mania. Which one are you taking?
It's easy for me, Rock Roman.
Cody finishing the story.
There you go. I love it.
What about you, Matt?
50-50. Rock Roman to me is the biggest match in history. In WrestleMania history. Like, we saw Hogan and Rock at Mania. We've seen a lot of what is looked at as biggest WrestleMania matches in history. We've been there personally for. Only thing we weren't there for is Hogan Andre. That would be considered like the biggest, not the best.
Was that
the biggest yet? WrestleMania matches?
Yeah.
No, you weren't. No, you were.
I was a baby. That's 3.
So for us to be able to see that match, that's the biggest match you can make in wrestling. So give me that over Cody winning. So what I need you to book for me, Rhodesia, we gave our Royal Rumble picks on a cool video that we're doing with another channel, which we'll give you guys some information on that as we get closer to the Royal Rumble. And we gave our women's Royal Rumble predictions and we gave our men's Royal Rumble predictions. Rhodesia, your women's Royal Rumble prediction was Bayley.
Yes. I don't remember the guy, so don't ask me.
Don't matter about the guy. Just talking about Bayley right now. We saw on SmackDown Bianca and Bayley wrestle, which Bianca looked incredible. I put on Twitter.
Oh, God.
It felt like it was like a showcase match for her. I mean, it was, but it's not about Bianca right now. I want to stick to Bayley.
Mm-hmm.
Book for me how. Okay, Bayley wins the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
What is her path to WrestleMania? So seeing that now they're really starting to turn up the dissension in the ranks of Damage Control.
Mm-hmm.
If Bayley wins the Rumble, give it to me what her road to WrestleMania looks like.
So same thing, right before she wins the Rumble, all that dissension is turned all the way to max. They're trying to cost her to lose the match. In the end, she somehow prevails. Now she's going on a mean streak, and now she can do what she originally started, was to become the champion, utilizing Damage Control in the beginning to be her henchman. But now she's about to go after them and going straight for EO.
Who's the heel?
I think Bayley's going to have a way of making it where she is empathized. So in the end, it will be EO being the heel.
So you have EO and Damage Control being the heel. You have Bayley win the Rumble to take on EO.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because they tried everything. They tried everything to make her lose the Rumble, but she prevails.
Is that tickling your fancy?
No. Let me tell you. This is what I'm booking. This is why I picked Bianca. I would like to see Bianca win the Rumble, and I would like to see her challenge Rhea Ripley. I don't think we've gotten that match on the big stage for the Raw Championship.
Nope.
What I would like to see at Mania for the women, because I believe they all deserve spots. Right? How can we get as many women on that show as possible?
I know.
No,
I know.
No,
we're
not. No,
I know. Please.
Right, hold on. Save it for a moment. All right. So, Damage Control kicks out Bayley. Bayley becomes the face. She needs some friends. All right. So Charlotte's out for quite some time. She can't properly join Four Horsewomen. Right?
Yep.
I'm still hoping. Because see, we're gonna talk about it later. But at TNA's pay-per-view last night, there was 2 women watching Trinity's match. Matt, who were they?
Mercedes Moné, not Sasha Banks, and Bayley.
What if they are scouting talent for a new group in the WWE?
That sounds like AEW type stuff. This is WWE. WWE's in their own bubble.
You got Trinity returning to the company. Sasha Banks returning to the company to help Bayley. And Bayley recruits another one of her 4 horsewomen buddies, Becky Lynch. And those 4 against Damage Control is what I would like to see.
Okay. I got a little confused there. So, but Bianca wins, and then she challenges Rhea. Okay, got it. I got it. But then you went on the other. You started booking something else. Got it. Okay, cool. I'm down with that too.
So you like that over the Andre the Giant over the top?
Oh, you stole my line.
That's
not fair.
You was sitting there looking like.
No, he told me. Wait a second. He said, "Hold it for a second."
And then that's when, as soon as he's done, you come in and say, "Or we can just do." But you sitting there trying to figure out what he just said. Man, we got to get you better in these next 100 episodes. Got another question for you. They made the right decision Bobby Lashley is coming out here acting like a face for the last few weeks when they're supposed to be heels. And WWE finally said, all right, man, if you're going to act like a face, we're going to turn y'all face. So the Profits and Bobby are faces, which I'm glad about because I wanted the Profits heel. Actually, I wanted Montez heel. It just didn't work. Like, that didn't work. Whatever. The name is now the Pride. I'm kind of like soft on that name. Big time soft on it. I don't know about that. They haven't said it on TV yet, but he switched his Twitter handle to, I think, a leader of the Pride or like something of the Pride. And that was the word that was out. What's your thoughts about them turning them faces and now they're faces and then the name of their group?
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I don't know what they've been doing for the past couple of months, but they weren't exactly, what they try? Tweener, right? I guess maybe kind of tweener. We'll see how it works. I kind of wanted to see a heel version of this group, but I would love to see, 3, possibly 4 Black strong characters with pride, on SmackDown. We'll see how it goes. When I think of the Pride, I think of Pride Week, things of that nature. But hey, I get where they're going, right? The pride of the culture and all kinds of things. I think it's. I'm here for that a little bit more than I am for the Karrion Kross.
Hey man,
faction.
Hey, we're not doing this again. You gave your hate last
and
episode,
that wasn't the question
them.
he just asked.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I just
no,
said,
man,
I'm not going back on this again. I'm just saying.
I think we have to let go of, and I think most of us have to let go of what we thought was going to happen with Montez. Whatever happened, we thought was going to happen, didn't happen. Kind of like how I felt with like Adam Copeland. Like what I thought he'd going over there to be like the big man, but no, he's just Adam Copeland. He was feuding against Christian. So I had to let go of Montez being what I thought he was about to be. So to answer them going face, completely cool with it. Pride, that's the first time I heard you just say it. I kind of like it because I can actually see that just being trademark and being a thing, the pride. I mean, you're prideful in being a Black man, like all that. Like I could so see that. So I'll sign up for that name. And that way it sounds like it's a repackaging. So now we can actually get something out of them. Cause like he said, these last several months, it's like, okay, who are they? What are they? Like, what am I supposed to boo them, cheer them? Like what's going on with them? So I'm excited to see what 24 does.
I think it's a perfect time, I guess, to turn him back face because they have their reality show starting on Hulu in March.
Oh, there you go.
February.
Yep.
I think February
14th
24th
or something like that.
I think it is. Yeah. So Bianca and Montez's Hulu, which would be must see TV for me because I enjoy both. I enjoy both of them. What else you guys got from SmackDown?
I really enjoyed the production. I'm not sure if it's different because I have a really bad memory, but it stood out to me. Like, for instance, Kevin Owens interview, like kind of the backdrop. I like that. I was watching that with the wife, and I'm like, hey, look at the backdrop on this one. I kind of like that. I thought that was pretty cool. We know you got the Big Strong Boy. I don't know why his nickname
Big Strong
makes me
Boy.
laugh.
Because it is. I mean, because it's the perfect nickname, right? Like if somebody just told you, "Hey, Big Strong Boy," you'd be like, "What is that?" But then when you see him wrestle, you're like, "Oh yeah, he's a Big Strong Boy" because he's smaller. So it makes sense. Yeah,
Big Strong Boy. Like this, I just know I chuckle when I hear it. But with the Butch, and I like where they're going with that. Right? He's like, "Hey, you need to. You lost yourself. Who do you want to be?" Like, right, and they zoom in on his face.
Come on, man. Come on.
Right? And it's like, are we getting the return?
Who does he want to be?
Pete Dunne?
Come on now.
I'm here for that. And you know what I like? You know what I like about that? I like that. I don't know where they were. I don't know if they were in the cafeteria. I don't know if they were in catering or wherever they were. It was an unusual setting that you don't see on a wrestling show. It seemed like they was out and about. Somebody caught them, having a conversation. And I love that. I don't think I've seen that on their show in quite some time. Now, I do think we've seen those things on NXT.
Yeah.
Like, right? Because, there was the country crew. I can't think of what their name was. But my girl Fallon, Josh Briggs, they had a team. They always hung out at, like, some kind of bar or setting type of thing. So they do that quite a bit on NXT. So they're bringing something similar to the main shows. I think that's great. Kind of shakes it up, and I think it makes it more show. It makes it look more crisp to me.
Yeah, look, the Kevin Owens promo looked like they recorded that on like 8K cameras. Now I immediately noticed that, and then of course the setting with Pete Dunne, I was like, this is the difference already from production. Now, who knows? They may have already had this set, and it's just the timeline of, Kevin Dunn's being gone, and now we look at it. But that is completely different than what we've usually seen from WWE proper shows. We saw the Caden and Katana, which was hilariously, you could say, bad or interesting when they were partying the week before on Raw. Like, that video package is like, oh, this is straight out of NXT, hokey and everything. This one was a little bit different. It was like more tailored to WWE, but still had that feel of being completely different. So yes, I love that. I also really enjoyed, before they got hurt, Theory and Carmelo's match, which sounds like the word came out of WWE was just they had some head contusions. So that's awesome, because that was a really, really scary spot. And it was funny because we were watching that live, and before I could even finish my sentence, so they start the move, and I knew what move they were going for. And if you watch the match, there was not a lot of times what you'll see is they'll get on the rope and then they'll gather themselves and then they'll do the move. This move was supposed to be hit the second rope and then we're going. And they hit the second rope, and out of my mouth I said, I'm surprised they allowed them to. And then before I could even finish my sentence, they landed awkwardly. So once again, thank God that they are fine, because that could have been really, really bad. But it looks like they, got away with just some head contusions. So I'm glad that's the case. But it was a bad week for bad spots. The Darby Allin spot on Dynamite could have went really, really bad.
Yeah.
Love the camera angle of it. And I'll give AEW their flowers here in a little bit around their production, because they're also doing some really good things now. But that was a bad one. And then the same night as SmackDown, Cora Jade is working an NXT house show, and she has a knee injury, which today is her birthday. So happy birthday, Cora Jade.
Happy birthday.
Hopefully it's not something serious. The only thing she tweeted since then, if I'm not mistaken, was laughing, so I'm not crying, or something to that effect. So I'm hoping maybe it's something minor, but she just got back, and that would be a blow to her and for NXT if she's out. So thoughts and prayers, of course, everybody. But it's just another thing of, man, what these folks do for our entertainment is not for the weak of heart. Like it is, you got to be trained, and anything can happen off of any type of move at any time. So as always, we just appreciate what they do for our entertainment.
And Matt, when I watched that spot, and I remembered another spot, I think Giovanni Vinci.
Yeah.
Had a bad, he was wrestling Kofi. And they immediately kind of stopped the match. WWE and their doctor team, they don't mess around. Like,
he was on it. They were on it. Shout out.
If something look off, they're stopping that match. And they transition well, right? And I don't know if they saw some of the things that were happening in AEW, and they was like, hey, you know what? We need to make sure those things don't happen on our product. Or they already have those things in place. But I just hope that AEW picks up a cue and, really pay attention to what's going on in these matches and have people in place to kind of stop if something goes awry. Because you're right, that Darby Allin spot was, when I watched it, I didn't think anything about it. And I think it was actually after someone had mentioned it, I was like, well, you know what? I do remember, and I don't want to get too, negative, not negative, but gruesome, I guess, but I remember someone in Mexico years ago, a similar spot. Like they, like their neck hit the rope and they passed away. Like, right. And I see guys hitting the rope like that all the time, but I guess, depending on how that rope is, the give, it can snap necks.
Yep.
Right. So Darby, hey, I'm glad he's okay. But I guess that could have been a really scary spot.
So as far as my SmackDown takeaways, y'all hit the nail on everything. I just want to double click on that Pete Dunne video package. What I like about what they've been doing with the video package and presentation is kind of tailored to the persons that's in that package. So for me, them doing that Pete Dunne one, I've been waiting for this. When H became, again, head of creative, I'm like, all right, everybody going back to their old names. Come on. And then when he say Butch, I'm like, what the hell? Like, no, this is Pete Dunne. It's supposed to have been changed. So this payoff, right? Let's call it the payoff. I'm
Right.
here for the payoff. I'm here for the payoff if I'm going back to Pete Dunne.
And I like that they're making a story out of it. I would have loved if he just came out one week and they were like, Pete Dunne. I would be like, hell yeah, he got his name back. But they're actually making a story out of it.
I like that too.
In regard, yeah, you know what I mean? And making it a big deal. They're doing some great stuff. Hey, we come out here every single week and put WWE over because of just where they are in comparison. And of course, we'll continue to do so. One thing I cannot put over, and I'm flying high. Of course, this is our 100th episode. Got special guests coming on here in a few minutes. My Lions
Let's
are
go.
playing their first home playoff game tonight in 30 years. Flying high. Feeling good. There was so much wrestling on TV on Saturday night that I didn't get a chance to watch much because I was watching NFL playoffs, but NJPW, TNA, AEW. I did watch Collision this morning, and that's not even including any indies.
GCW had something.
Yes, just flourishing, man. Like, it is so awesome to be a wrestling fan right now and to not have any type of agendas while watching and saying I already going into it that I hate this already or I love this already. So I'm flying high, man. I'm going to bed. I'm like, you know what? Tomorrow's gonna be a great day. Was on X.
Uh-oh.
See a video of my GOAT. Best of all time. The greatest of all time. The Texas Rattlesnake. I said, oh man. All right, what's Austin doing? Looking, of course, huge and ripped. He's got clothes on. I'm like, all right, let me see what he's talking about. Click on the video. He's doing one of those like cold plunges. I was like, all right, let me click on it. I click on it. I'm hurt, guys.
Why is that?
I don't know if I can call Steve Austin my GOAT anymore. If you have seen this video, if you have not, go on to our Twitter page. It's there. That's F&W. This ain't the bionic redneck. This ain't the DTA don't trust anybody. This is not the man that made me shave my head in high school when he broke his neck back in the late 90s. It's not the man that made me buy my first wrestling shirt out of my own money, Austin 316. This is not the man that has one of the best finishers in the history of the business, the Stone Cold Stunner. This is not the man that beat his boss up each and every week, Mr. McMahon. This is not the man that every single week on Raw, you had no idea what he was going to do. Drive a Zamboni to the ring. Throw title belts in the river.
Detroit.
Beat up Booker T in the supermarket. Guys, my GOAT's gotten old. And I love that he's old. We all should just want to be old. It's not that he's old. It's that my GOAT can't take cold water. I got some audio I'm going to play. It hurt my heart. Have y'all seen this video?
Yes.
Saw it this morning.
Let me pull it up.
He still is that same guy, though, Matt, of everything you said.
Whew. Ha ha ha!
That's him getting in the water.
Ha! God damn it! Whoa!
My GOAT is whistling because it's so cold.
Shit! God damn it! It would.
Like we. I wish we could play the video too.
Oh
The
my
video
God.
really enhances the experience, man. It's crazy.
Hey, what's up, God damn it! Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Steve coming to the Broken Skull Ranch. I got this.
It's a broken skull, right? He said broken 3.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Steve coming to the Broken Skull Run.
We had to run it back.
Hey, what's
My
up,
goat
everybody?
is
Steve
stuttering
coming to
because
the
it's
Broken
cold.
Skull Ranch. About to do my first cold plunge and renewed therapy. My shop says 43 degrees right now, so I'm sure the
Man.
Come
Oh my
on.
I love you, Steve.
water is sub 50. I was going to start off at 50. It's going to be a little bit colder than that. And we're going 3 minutes here. Once it gets on to 12 and 5,
All right, 3
4, 3,
Come on,
2,
Steve. 3
there
minutes,
we go. God damn.
Come on, Steve. You got it, Steve. It's 3 minutes. 3 minutes, Steve.
Son of a bitch.
Come on, goat.
Ha!
Push through, goat.
2 minutes and 40 seconds to go.
Push through, goat.
All right, hold on. We got just 11 more seconds left. Ha ha. Ha ha.
Oh, motherfucker.
Push through, Steve.
Gonna revisit this motherfucker.
Oh, man. I had nightmares all night. Had nightmares all night of my goat, the Texas rattlesnake.
But hey,
The
have you
toughest
ever
SOB
done?
in
Have you
WWE
did a
history.
cold plunge before though?
No.
We did a hydro
Oh my
water,
God.
or
Yeah,
cold water.
yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, well, we've done a hydro water where it's all over our entire bodies. That was really good too. That was on vacation. Damn, Steve, I love you. I still love you, man. I think you're still going to be my goat, but that one hurt.
You gotta revisit it. I got 3 whistles out of him. I thought it'd been more than that.
You knew it was bad in the first like 15 seconds when he hit the ha ha, and there was nobody telling jokes. That's when you knew, okay, this is probably not going the way it should.
Well, he
My
messed
goat
this
was
stuff up.
stuttering. My goat was stuttering because how cold it was. I can't even whistle at all. He was out here whistling like Yin Yang Twins. Whistle while you twerk.
Man.
Anyway, something else I wanted to bring up, and we don't have video of this. Have y'all seen Rebby Hardy's latest video?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not understanding it. I'm not understanding what's happening right now.
So it looks like her and Matt are going through. I typically don't talk about personal stuff on the pod, but they're putting it out there. So I guess it's like, hey, here you go. Because they're going through some marriage issues. She put up a TikTok yesterday. And the TikTok said, I want to make sure I get this right. Now, we all know the history. Matt Hardy, Edge and Lita had. Her caption on the TikTok was, when Matt Hardy does me dirty for the last time. And she is wearing a Edge shirt. Now, I don't know, because we don't know what Matt Hardy did. We don't know if it's infidelity or what. I was like, no, you can't do that. Like, that was that's a rough one. That's a rough
That's
one.
rough. That's tough. And I know Edge is like, dang, why you bring me back in this again?
I'm sure he's like, again?
Like, I paid my penance before already.
Oof.
I pray
Nasty
for that
business.
couple. I pray for that couple. Hopefully they can. I've thought they've probably been through worse, but like you said, we don't know what happened this time. How he did her dirty this time. They've been through a lot. I hope this is something that they can overcome. But that's a tough one. That's a tough
But
one.
ain't Ruby Rebby, excuse me, I can't get her name out. Ain't she a troll though?
Yes.
Like, yeah,
She
I mean,
is.
she like they might have argued over who had the remote control last night. She
Yeah,
decided to put
could
up
be.
because she's showing off her little tummy, right? She didn't have like they didn't have like 15
25
boys back to
kids.
back.
Mhm.
Yes, so right, maybe she just want to show how flat her stomach is after having all them damn kids, and it's just a little jokey joke, because Edge out here, look, he got some daughters, and him and Beth good. I mean, they,
Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers. So we saw on Dynamite Wednesday. I want to get your guys' thoughts. It looks like we're getting the Young Bucks as Sting's last match. So Sting has always said that he wanted his last match to be a tag match with Darby. Said that he didn't have an interest in doing the singles. And looks like we're getting the new Young Bucks, which come back as clean cut heels. Looks like, I guess, with mustaches
looks like it.
suits on. What's your guys' thoughts about Sting's last match being with the Young Bucks?
Such a great honor if I were the Young Bucks. That's who they have over there of people of AEW. That should be the team that they go against. But man, how amazing is this for us to be a part of somebody's retirement and they're still doing it? Of course, not doing it how they were in their 30s or 40s, but they're still doing it. They're still entertaining when you watch. I'm just even proud in the moment to be able to be on this ride with Sting and to see it come to the closing. And again, you got the Young Bucks, you know, a team that's going to protect you, who's going to wrestle and be safe with you. And you got Darby too, who's been right-hand man of Sting this whole time since he's been in AEW. Just a really beautiful moment. I'm happy they picked the Young Bucks.
Yeah, I'm here for that. And I think I'm here for a heel Young Bucks. I think they come across really well in that lane. I'm here for tag team wrestling being important again in that company. Hopefully this is the beginning of that.
Right.
But Sting and Darby, I love the pairing. And I love that, you know, he's gonna go out together with them to the end. So yeah, all good.
And
When
we
I
have
first
Flair in
saw
his
it-
corner too.
Okay, well, we're going to skip over that. When I first saw it, when he got in the ring and got physical, I was like, here we go again. But when I first saw the Bucks come out, I am excited for a new heel run from the Bucks. Like, we've seen the cocky old DX type NWO cool heels. That's not what they're going to be playing now. But I was like, okay, that's cool. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what? Like, it's not a sexy pick. I don't know who would be a sexy pick for Sting's last match, you know, that's under contract with AEW right now. But
Right.
I'm like, they are going to go out of their way to make Sting look like $1 trillion with his offense and everything else. So, and then of course, word comes out that, you know, Sting handpicked him. So hell, if he handpicked him, there's no way in the world I'm gonna go against him. But I am excited for Sting to be able to go out with some young guys that are going to throw their bodies around for him like he is Bill Goldberg in his prime. You know what I mean? Just going through the wall. So that's gonna be really cool. I do want to shout out, before I shout out production, Tony Khan's Twitter rant, Tuesday Afternoon Wars, did not equal and equate to viewership. Their episode only did 997,000 viewers, which was lower than last week's 801,000 viewers. It says it also marked one of the lowest episodes under 800,000 viewers since October 25th.
How much was the viewers?
797.
Yep.
Okay, because you said 900. I'm like, that isn't lower than 800.
Yep, 700,
Okay.
900.
Steiner math.
They started drinking over there already.
No, I didn't start
Not
drinking.
yet. I have not. That's why I want us to hurry up
Rhodesia
this
wants
show to the celebration.
Yeah, I'm still in that Austin video. My apologies. So, I mean, we said it. Those antics don't equate to viewership. We ain't got to break it down. I just wanted to share that we had talked about, like, hey, the group you're galvanizing watches every week already. All you're doing is turning off the base that's not watching, and it's only 1 week, but it didn't turn to viewership.
But Matt, they were up in the demo.
They were, yeah.
They were
Okay,
up in the
good
demo.
call. Good call. And I guess that's all that matters. They were up in the demo. Yeah, shout out to production. So I had tweeted on Wednesday too. You know, I've been hard on AEW when it comes to production. Their missed shots, their constant sound issues, that kind of stuff. But when they do well, I want to shout them out, and they're doing great. They've had 2 really good episodes back to back of Dynamite and Collision. And Dynamite felt like, to me, the first time production knew what was happening in the ring beforehand, in a good way. If you look at Samoa Joe's promo segment, the awesome camera shots with him and Swerve, and whoever thought about that hook, Batman sign type emblem, give them a raise, promote them. Genius. Loved it. The way that was shot was incredible. How they shot the Darby Allin spot when he was thrown, we hated the way it ended, but the shot was perfect. And then Collision. So Collision starts, last night, Edge comes out, or Adam Copeland comes out, cuts a promo. Lee Moriarty answers the challenge, and then they cut to a video. For anyone who doesn't know who Lee Moriarty is, loved it. Yes, that is very WWE-like and esque. I get that, but that is what you need to do when you are showing somebody's importance that doesn't get a lot of TV time. Show us who they are. So I love that. I thought it was great. What did you guys think about, their production? We talked about SmackDown's production. Did you guys, peep the production on Collision and Dynamite? And if so, what'd you think?
Everything you said, and then just how Collision went off air to start up Battle of the Belts. I thought that was a really cool, seamless production setup too with the fight. So everything you said, bravo. They did do the Hook Batman logo a second time, and that felt a little off the second time they did it. I think they went to the well a little too many times, but I'm not going to complain about that because they're trying, and they're trying to get better at it. So bravo to them for trying.
Hey, Matt, do you think that they're having production meetings now?
Touche.
Hey, and I gotta tell you guys something. I ain't know this shit.
Wow.
Yeah,
I know nothing. But hey, here's the thing though. I'm not really I don't notice stuff unless it's really, really good or different or really bad. So that's good.
Okay.
Right? I didn't notice anything, poor. But let's get into when are we gonna get it? Are we gonna get into TNA or we move off that already?
No, we are going to get into TNA.
Let's get into that.
I'm sure you are going to. Well, I don't know what you're going to do. Real quick before we do get to that, I did make a poll on X and asked folks after that segment with Samoa Joe and Hook, what match are you? And it was a serious question. I said legit question. Which match will be better next week? Seth versus Jinder or Samoa Joe versus Hook? Before I give the poll results, what do you guys think? What match is going to be better?
Oh, I picked it, and I think that's what Twitter did too. It's going to be Samoa Joe and Hook.
Okay.
I'm going to say by default it's going to be Samoa Joe and Hook because I plan on putting my finger or thumb so close to that fast forward button that
for which
it's
match?
Going to bleed. Yeah, it's going to Seth and Jinder.
No,
I'm not watching
man.
that damn match.
Jinder is
that button.
X heavyweight champion.
You know it. You know how many clicks you got to do it.
He does it every week. He knows. He's absolutely. He sees a women's match. Let me go ahead and fast forward through this. Well, you're wrong, Rhodesia. Seth versus Jinder won the poll. 59% to 41%. And I do think that match is going to be good, but I mean, if we're talking about what match is going to be better, I don't know how Samoa Joe versus Hook. Now, that's the match I'm most excited for by far.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with that one, too. Give me Joe and Hook, man.
Yeah.
That should be really, really good.
Yep, it's going to be a good one.
Yep.
The guy that Hook wrestled real quick on Collision, I don't know who he is. Sorry to that man. But Hook was moving. It was handling him pretty good, and he's a big dude. So
hey,
who was it? Who was it, Matt?
They didn't even bother really saying this kind of name, so I'm not even sure.
It was a jobber?
Yeah, it was a big guy. And they were just like,
this
guy is big like Samoa Joe, which he wasn't.
No.
But what I did like, I loved, it was a squash match, but Hook sold. So Hook hit him with I think a German. They go outside the ring. Hook hits him with the German, or it could have been a belly to the back suplex.
It was a belly to back.
And then Hook sold. Even though he was the one that gave the move, he sold it because he's also on the ramp. And I loved it. And I told Rhodesia, I'm like, with Taz being Hook's dad, like, we're not going to have to worry about him not selling and the transitions not being right. He throws my man into the ring, and then because the match is not over yet, he tapped him like 30 seconds later. But then he goes and he taunts to the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly what I said Takeshita should have did with Darby the prior week on Dynamite.
Yep.
So I want to highlight that because that is psychology, man. That's how you get it. That's how it works. And shout out to Deonna Purrazzo on Collision. Had a really good match with Red Velvet to start her AEW tenure.
Stirred up.
So
I told Matt real quick that I feel like Red Velvet is starting to become the Natalia of AEW. Anytime you got to get a woman in going, put on a decent match, you throw Red Velvet in there because she's sound and she's talented. What's your thoughts on that?
I like Red. I like Red a lot. Hopefully,
How
do a little
many
bit more with her.
how many Jade Cargill natty matches we get in Jade's first year, including house shows?
All of them. I'm sorry. That didn't come out right. Sorry.
I gotta be honest with you guys. I'm looking to be pleasantly surprised with her first match. I think her first match, where it was going to be, main roster, NXT.
You saying outside the Rumble?
Oh yeah,
The
outside the
Rumble would be her
Rumble.
first
That's not really a match.
Okay.
That's just like an appearance, really. I think her first match is going to be night and day different from her last match that we saw in AEW.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty confident.
Just even those video packages we see her training in.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it too. I can't wait to see her first match and see how much she's grown in that ring.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Get TNA. What you got?
So we're like on our 100th episode, we're doing a lot of things differently. We had an agenda. Well, I thought we had an agenda. Then Matt shakes up the agenda like 2 minutes before the show and adds like a bunch of content, which is great. So I have nothing written down, but I did want to talk about TNA. I can't wait to watch TNA on Thursday, guys. Cannot wait. I got my man Nick Nemeth looking great. I haven't been excited about Nick in a long time. I'm actually decided to see what he's doing in New Japan, and I can't wait to see what he does in TNA. We had Ash by Elegance, formerly Dana Brooke, pop up. I have no idea what she's doing. She looks a little bit like Toni Storm. Like, I'm sure she's not playing that type of character because I don't see her. She doesn't have the accent or any of that stuff that Toni has to kind of pull that character off. So
she's timed, yeah. Like Toni is timeless. Dana is timeless.
I'm sure it's something different, but I would love to see what she has next. I love the new titles, belts, and the production. The actual production looked okay. Now they got some cleanup to do, right? Because they had Nick like at the end of the show in the crowd, right? Showing off the TNA logo on his shirt, and it was dark as hell. They could have put some lights on that man. Like, get that man. We talked about Batman. Where the Batman spotlight? You know, we ain't had that in the crowd. They got to fix that up. But the production, the stage looked a lot better than the last time I looked at it. So I'm really excited about TNA on Thursdays, guys. What about you?
The only thing I saw on it was a still pic of Naomi coming out and having all the glow sticks. And I was like, oh, there's some production there. You probably going to like this. And then just a quick pic of seeing Nick out there. And that was it. And then seeing him in his cutoff shirt, looking as chiseled and buff as I've probably seen him in a long time. Looked great. That was the only 2 things I've seen of the show. But I heard it was good.
They also had an announcement of a AAA partnership. But they've been partners with AAA for like years now. So I got to go back and see what's different about the partnership. I thought they had a good night. Once again, I didn't get a chance to see the show, but just looking at social media, looking at the buzz around it, Vikingo had social media ablaze, which I'm so happy for him. You know, I came out here and talked about him in January, just how crazy this guy is, and he's starting to get his flowers, which is awesome. But they had a good night. Dollar showed up on the pre-show, Top Dollar, formerly at WWE. So they had him, they had Nick Nemeth, they had Dana Brooke. So they got some good people. Now, was it enough to set up the slogan of Worlds Collide and you'll never guess who's going to show up? I guess Dolph could fit that.
Yeah.
Right?
If he didn't show up in NJPW, probably even more so.
Yeah.
You would feel that way.
But he's going to be on a run this year. And probably what I love the most about last night, which was so great to see. So we just named those people off. And then you look at Mustafa Ali, who showed up. Well, he had a video package for NJPW for a match against, I think, Naito here in Chicago in March. I believe it is March or April. I love everybody just didn't go to AEW. They'll be in AEW eventually, right? There's no way Ali is not going to be, after the run I think he's going to have on the Indies, I think it's going to be similar to what we saw Cody do. Not on that scale, because what Cody did won't be done again. Like, he broke the mold when he left WWE on his own terms, made that list, and went to every single indie and just made himself super hot. We're not going to get that again. But if there was anybody who would do that, I think it's Dolph, and I think it's Ali. And for both of them not to immediately go to AEW, I think is awesome. Same thing with Trinity. I mean, we think about Trinity. So Trinity evidently signed a 9-month contract. Right. It wasn't a year. She debuted with Impact in April. Her contract is up in January. And I've said numerous times her relationship with WWE was great. And I'm sure that conversation was, hey, look, go out.
So you're real oats.
Just make sure you're back here for the Rumble next year. And like, how great is that, right? Like that's fantastic. So I'm happy for her, though, also, for her to be able to go do what she did for those 9 months, be able to make that women's division better than what she left it, for sure. She put over Jordan Grace last night at the pay-per-view. And now for her to be able to go back to WWE on her own terms, fan, like I said it earlier, wrestling's in such a fantastic spot. But yeah, man, like TNA is in a good spot compared to where they were, just 7 days ago, maybe 10 days ago with those signings. And who knows if they're done, who knows what TV looks like after this. And they still have that one-shot show where Okada's going to be on, Will Ospreay is going to be on. So they got some really good momentum right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Riddle pop up at some point over there too.
We're going to talk about Riddle on Wednesday's pod. Riddle did an interview, and Riddle talked about why he's no longer under contract at WWE.
He figured it all out.
About that.
He figured it all out. Man.
You see his video for New Japan?
I did.
He had the bow tie on, right? The tie on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You see the way he said New Japan?
No, I don't remember how he said New Japan.
Oh, go back and watch the video, and we'll talk about it on Wednesday.
Cool. Sounds good.
Also, too, speaking of New Japan, Jack Perry showed himself.
He's like an old man now.
I'm intrigued. I am intrigued. Now, word hasn't come out, and I love that. I love when there are legit surprises in wrestling. And that's also the same thing, too. These legit surprises. We didn't hear about Dana Brooke showing up. We didn't know Dolph was going to be there for sure to TNA. But he shows up to NJPW and rips up a AEW contract and then puts on a armband with the name Scapegoat on it. I even love that. He's a scapegoat for all these issues. Then and I don't see many people talking about this. Maybe because they couldn't read lips. And I could be off in my lip reading. So then there's a shot after he attacks. I forgot who he attacked. I think he attacked Naito, maybe. Or whoever it was. And they shoot him. And it looks like he mouths to the camera, "You have time to tweet but can't answer your phone," or something to that effect. And I think that's a direct shot to Tony Khan.
I mean, yeesh.
So let me ask you guys. NJPW and AEW, they do have a working relationship, for sure. So do you guys think this is a work? And by work, I mean he's still under AEW contract. Or do you think this is a shoot where he's no longer under AEW contract and he has some type of deal with NJPW?
It's the former. 100% work. You're not going to do that. That is a person that you lay in the same bed with as far as NJPW and AEW. I think he's just taking advantage of the situation. Him mouthing that was clever. This is all work. But I'm here for it because it's exciting.
Yeah. I told you, I don't really like when AEW does this kind of stuff. I
New
just don't
Japan.
think it works.
New Japan, technically.
Well, yeah. I mean, New Japan, I think it's good for New Japan. If this was, for New Japan, I think it's nice because they need some more interest on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I think definitely this helps them. Like, right, I'm actually more interested in New Japan than I have in a long time. I'm very interested to see what Nick's going to do there, Ali's going to do there, Riddle's going to do there, Jack Perry's now going to do there. They actually have some wrestlers I actually want to see, because they have they're the Naitos, Tanahashi, I'm forgetting my man's name, the Rain Man, what's Okada. Like those guys are almost permanent fixtures. They're there, like right, and so the interest comes with them interacting with new people. And they have that now. So I'm definitely interested. But for AEW, they do so much of this work, shoot stuff. I don't think they do it very well. I don't think it generates nearly any kind of interest or for the company as they think it does. It kind of changes what I thought. I thought we were going to get, Jack Perry coming back as Jungle Boy and helping, Luchasaurus find himself and then reforming the tag team. I guess we're not doing that anytime soon because he's coming back as a heel, obnoxious heel. He's the scapegoat. So whatever he's doing for New Japan, he's going to bring over to AEW when it happens. So that shoots my plans I had for him in my head.
I have a good topic for our Wednesday show, and it'll be about New Japan and Americans coming to New Japan, and it's going to be controversial. So,
and we are back, with a special guest. You have heard about this person. Actually, you've heard about both these people we're going to have on for about 99 episodes or so. Sometimes you hear just how incredible they are. And then other times you'll hear allegedly that they need to be barefoot in the kitchen and cooking or things like that. We're going to get to the bottom of those said situations today. Joining us on our 100th episode special, Katrina, Eshaun's wife. Hello, lady.
Hi, guys. Thank you for having me today.
Absolutely. Now, what I before we even, because we're going to do a toast, right? We all got our drinks here.
Yes.
What I want to ask Rhodesia is, how much do you think Eshaun is going to change in these next, 15, 20, 25 minutes? Comparative
I see it already. Look, he's smiling right now. He's already smiling. Before he comes on like this. Now he's smiling.
That boy shook.
Yeah,
Look at
he
him.
over there happy. His day is on. Go ahead.
Well, before we get to the festivities, let's take a toast. Of course, 100 episodes. We've said it numerous times. We've done research that the majority of shows don't make it out, I think, like episode 16 or something like that. And we are there and we are flourishing where we are, getting to the next 100, the next 1,000, whatever that is. So cheers to everyone who's listening. Cheers to you guys on this podcast right now.
Yay.
That's good. That is good. Katrina, before we start, is there anything you would like to tell the wonderful people that listens to the TFW podcast?
Well, first off, thank you all for listening and supporting my family here. And also, my dear sweet husband, he's can be a little bit
I love you.
extra sometimes.
You think?
So don't believe everything, okay?
I do.
Oh, we don't. I don't think there's
Katrina.
one person who believes anything that he says.
Katrina.
on this podcast.
Yeah.
Two episodes ago, he said 8 years ago he was on a corner with his Draco.
No. What Draco? Where is it at?
Exactly.
So speaking of 8 years ago, just
Look out
real
the
quick,
house.
just kind of give us a rundown and the listeners of just how long you guys have been together for, how long you guys have been married for, and I guess to kind of tie it back to wrestling. How is it for you, who I would say I'll probably have you pegged as like a very, very casual wrestling fan? How is it being a very casual wrestling fan where you don't need to watch every week, every month, married to somebody who is a hardcore of the hardcore fan?
Okay. So one I've known, or we've been married 15 years. Prior to that, we dated it was like 8 years, 9 years.
No, we
so
didn't date that long, my love.
yes, we did.
We dated maybe 3 or 4 years.
No, it felt longer than that. I'd have to
Maybe
do the
it
math.
felt that way.
It's happening.
Oh, yes,
It
fight.
definitely wasn't 9 years.
Right.
He believes it differently. But at any rate, ever since I've known him, he's always loved wrestling. Sometimes there may be phases
So
where he kind
I
of.
met you in 04. We wed in 08.
She did say it felt like a long time.
Yeah.
She didn't say it was a long
I
time.
don't know. This is already not starting out too well.
So it
I'm
sounds
gonna
great
just
to me.
edit.
Okay,
I'm not
that's
just
fair.
editing on this
15
podcast.
years. If we're at 15 years and then that, okay, it's a while. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But he's loved wrestling like ever since I've known him. And from somebody that didn't at all watch wrestling prior to meeting him. It's been definitely interesting starting to be able to kind of come into that world. For me, I think some of the most funnest moments that I can have experienced with wrestling were, going to the WrestleManias and things of that sort,
Yes.
and sharing those moments with you guys. Like, it's been fun. I don't watch it all the time, but when I do tune in, it's easy for me to pick back up a lot of times with what I'm watching because I've had him watching it for so long, and I was sometimes, be in and out the room, and I'll be looking at certain stuff. So that's it's our lifestyle here in this house.
So when you do watch, what do you gravitate to? No matter if it's WWE, AEW, TNA, whatever it is, what could be playing on TV and you have to stop and say, "Oh, let me sit down and watch this"?
It depends. Usually it's going to be if some of my favorites are on. So like if there's a Roman Reigns on, then I might pay attention to what's going on, right? I do like Bianca when she's on. I'll, sometimes tune in to see what she's doing, or sometimes I'm just watching their interest when they coming in. I get hype, with the music and everything. And that I would say would probably be some of the top two. I do like Cody a lot as well. But I typically don't really tune in until maybe like a big show is coming up and he's watching or something. Then I might, for a split second, see what's going on.
So we had a conversation earlier in the podcast, and I'm going to ask you, and then I can throw it to you. So right now, of course, The Rock is back. Came back a couple weeks ago, and the big hoopla is we got to get to Rock and Roman Reigns. And at this point now, we're assuming it's going to happen at WrestleMania. So you said you are a Roman Reigns fan. You also said you also kind of like Cody. If you had one choice, you are going to sit down, you're going to watch WrestleMania. Okay. Would you rather see Cody Rhodes finish his story, beat Roman Reigns for the title, or
make me answer that?
Or would you rather have The Rock versus Roman Reigns, the biggest match in the history of professional wrestling? What say you?
Oh Lord. I always look at Cody Rhodes as the underdog, so I'm always cheering for him, of course. But I do like the fact that Roman is going up against family. Like, it's like to see him get defeated by his, that would be kind of, I think I might have to actually go with him, even though I really want to go with Cody.
There we go. We know what's best for business. We know what best for business is.
Why don't you go ahead and hit them like them gunshots over there? You know what I mean? Hit the air horn, hit the gunshots, man. Like
it's not needed right now for the situation right now. It's unneeded. My love, let me present another scenario for you.
Okay.
What if you can get the best of both worlds? What if we get a family feud with The Rock and Roman? Right? Because now with WrestleMania, we get 2 nights of excellence. We get to watch it on Saturday and we get to watch it on Sunday. Right? So what if on a Saturday night WrestleMania, you get to see Rock and Roman, family feud, fighting for the head of the table, right? Mm-hmm. Who's the top dog in that family, right? So you get that match. And then on night 2, on Sunday night, you get to finally see Cody Rhodes, his family, his baby girl, his mom and sister, mother-in-law, whole family out on WrestleMania to see him finally win the championship that has eluded his father and his family for so long. You get to see Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, a returning Randy Orton, back from a career-ending injury. Face off for the Undisputed World Championship. You get a family feud on one night, and you get the end and hopefully great ending of a story on night 2. Doesn't that sound great?
Yeah. I could
hit
do
the crickets.
It.
Hit the crickets later, E. Hit the crickets, E. Ain't nobody checking for that, man. Get out of here.
I love how he repurposed the question
Big time.
to where it was either this or that, but we could do both on different days.
She still wasn't going for it. That's why I love you, Katrina. That's why I've always loved you. I guess the last question I have for you before either we can bring on our second guest or you guys got any more questions. If there was one thing you would change about wrestling, anything, it could be what days it comes on, it could be more, it could be less, whatever. If you had one thing I would change about professional wrestling, what would that be?
That's a good question. I think one of the biggest things for me is, and I've even heard Eshaun say it throughout the years as well too, the shows sometimes are really long, and it's sometimes people are coming on that I might not really be that interested in, so I typically, will just want to see those highlights. And that's not fair to, of course, the wrestlers that are trying to, become bigger stars, right? They do have to get their time in. I get it. But it just seems like those shows are so long sometimes. Wish they could kind of cut that out a little bit and still give a great production.
Love it.
Yeah, those shows definitely are long. You got 3 hours on Monday, and then you watch 2 hours on Tuesday, and we get another 2 hours on Wednesday. We got TNA, another 2 hours on Thursday.
8, 9.
We got another 2 hours on Friday coming up.
10, 11.
You got
Rampage.
another 2 hours on Saturday.
Don't forget about Rampage. So that's 12 on Friday. Yep, 2.
All about.
So now we're at
Rampage.
14 hours.
That's not including the PLEs or pay-per-views.
If we got an AEW pay-per-view, we got another 6 hours of content.
Yeah.
That's 20 hours.
Wow.
And that's not including New Japan, right?
Yeah.
Any indie shows you may want to go to. Not New Japan. So you're talking about on high weeks, you could be watching 20 hours. And that's also not including like Mania Week, where you got to watch the pre-shows. You got to watch the specials they're going to throw out there. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's a whole nother job. So, Katrina, I got a couple of questions I'm going to ask our awesome guests today. I'm going to start with you first. I call them the Sexy Six. Six quick questions.
Ooh, hold on. We gotta wait. It's our OnlyFans.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Wait. Now, typically,
you said sexy.
See, Katrina, so also I got to let you know, typically, something happened on every show toward the end where E just swears we're trying to like sell some OnlyFans content or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But for him to come to this podcast on the 100th celebration, the 100th episode, and he says he's got 6
sexy questions
for you.
Okay.
I am here for this. I am laying out.
What you got,
I cannot wait.
So, and also, since it's the 4 of us that are on here, we got somebody new coming. We got another guest star.
All right, say hi and gotta go bye-bye.
Oh, I love him.
That was my 5-year-old Ian. He actually
if you guys are not watching on YouTube, you're missing out. So if you're listening, we appreciate you listening. Of course, we love our podcast listeners. That's where the majority of our listeners and viewers are. But if you are not watching this episode, hit us up on YouTube. That's Freakin Wrestling, so you can see all of us.
Yeah, that's my little 5-year-old. He actually was a little under the weather this weekend, so I didn't bring him on. But he decided to do a little debut of his own. But Katrina, we've known Matt and Rhodesia for 35 years. And
that's like Katrina math right there. Remember?
Yeah. And let me tell you, they bring some raunchy content sometime on this show. This is not one of those raunchy content conversation guys. Just to let you guys know, right? This is just a
you said
regular...
sexy though. You said sexy.
Sexy, it got to be sexy. Just means this. It's not
grown up, huh? Just grown up.
It's just about cool. It's like Justin Timberlake back in the day. He bringing it back. All right. Yeah. So I got 6 questions for you and 2 whys. So you can't just throw out answers because I might follow up with the why you said that moment, right?
Okay.
So I got 6 questions for you. And guys, when you tune in on the YouTube, I'm gonna have a nice little music playing for the segment. So tune in. So question number 1, Katrina, John Cena or The Rock?
Oh gosh, The Rock.
Yes.
I'm sorry, real quick. This is Katrina's
Oh, sorry.
6
I was getting
questions,
excited over
Rhodesia.
here too.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Sorry,
need you
my
to chill
bad.
out. You lay out too.
Penalty
You've been
box,
asking to drink
penalty box,
the entire
penalty
episode. Just sit
box.
back and drink. we don't need you.
Do we get to like on the house on the Real Housewives where they get to and the Andy show where they get to plead the fifth and they can drink? We don't do that.
Well, if anything is drinking, I'm fine with that.
Question number 2. If you had to wrestle in a tag match, who would you pick to be your partner? Rhea Ripley or Nia Jax?
Nia Jax.
Why?
I just think she's beast. I like her.
You like her, huh?
Thank you, Katrina.
All right.
Good job.
All right. If you were starting a wrestling company today, who would you hire to run it? Vince McMahon or Tony Khan?
Vince McMahon.
All right. Beyonce or Rihanna?
Oh, don't do that to me.
Beyonce or Rihanna?
Gosh.
One gotta go.
I
Can't
plead the
listen to him no
fifth.
more. No more.
Hey, look. So now we see where like when E doesn't go along with things we ask and like he just goes off. Katrina just asked if she pleaded the fifth, and he said no, she did it anyway. Y'all are 2 peas in a pod.
One gotta
I'm
go,
gonna
Katrina.
say I'm going with Rihanna.
Wow.
Mm.
Sexy Rihanna. Beyonce is the queen, though. But I can respect that.
If you are hanging out today, you gotta take one person with you. Bianca Belair or Sasha Banks?
Bianca.
Why would you pick Bianca?
She seems like she's more down to earth. I like her. I like her
Interesting.
personality.
If you had to sit down and watch 2 wrestlers have a match, who would they be?
I'm gonna say Cody and Roman.
Ooh, so she doing it.
But you said earlier that it doesn't have to be Roman and Cody for him to finish the story. You want to go with Orton and Cody. Just saying that. Can I do a follow-up? I have to. I think it was your second question. I gotta get this answer. You said you would rather have Vincent Kennedy McMahon in his old ripe age of 80 plus years old running a company over Tony Khan.
I did.
Please tell us
But
why you said that.
the reason why I said that is because he's ran it for as long as he has and has been successful through all that time. So we know that regardless of whether or not, right now, I mean, let's say he'd have to have some assistance or whatever, but regardless of whether or not he has situations going on in his personal life, he knows also how to have a successful business. And Tony is still kind of new in it, in my eyes.
No, he is.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you're talking about, 40 plus years or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Vince was running WWE compared to the 4 Tony Khan has been running it.
I mean, he's been running the business longer than Tony's been alive. If you look at it that way.
That's real talk.
So.
That's real talk.
You got any other questions, E? Was that 6 or was that 5?
That was a 66.
Man, I've heard enough. Katrina's the GOAT.
Let's go.
Let's get up for Katrina.
Thanks, guys.
All right, so
And
that was part one.
Before we leave, Katrina, I gotta say this though.
Katrina, she's staying. She's not going anywhere. But yeah, she's staying.
Okay, but let me say this though too. So Katrina is not a huge wrestling fan at all, but I will tell you right now, every time we've gone to a Mania, a house show, a Raw, SmackDown, she would always be so incredibly pumped for the show. I'm halfway sleeping sometimes during the show. Katrina's always full power, attention, full in. So to you, Katrina, thank you, one, for being a wrestling fan when it really counts when you're there. And then thank you for being a part of our family too. So happy that you were our first guest on the show. Love you much.
Thank you. Love you guys too.
Love it. Love it. So that was part 1. Got to get to part 2 now. So we talk about Katrina all the time on the show. There's also one other person we talk about a lot. He's the young GOAT. He's the young God. Some people call him Lil Matt. Some people call him Matt Jr. Rhodesia calls him Matthew. Matt, come on in here, buddy. Let's go in and get in here. Come on in here, man. There he is. There he is. making his debut with who was my GOAT before last night, Austin 316 shirt.
Yeah.
What's up, sir?
Yes.
I'm having a good time listening. I've been down here. One of the few times I've been down here in the space while he has been talking. I have the earpiece in, and I can hear you guys. Great conversation topics. I like where Uncle E went, or Eshaun went with.
No, he's Uncle E. He's
Okay.
Tell him Uncle E.
Let him know.
I like where you went with the Randy and Cody thing, because it's different. I've never heard that before, so I like how you went different with that. The fandom from Auntie Katrina, and then you hating on my guy. Like,
Who's your guy? Who's your guy? Man, you heard that. You heard it, right?
I heard it, but like he's pushing 60. He's 59.
Ha ha! He said. He whistled. He was in the code, man.
You wouldn't.
You can't do that when you're the Texas rattlesnake. You cannot do that when you're the toughest SOB. We already did that. Okay. Let me ask you a question, Matt. So you are 16 years old.
Yeah.
Right? How long have you been watching wrestling for?
My entire life.
How has your
Aw.
fandom changed in the last 2 years compared to what it was before that?
That's a good question. It's changed in the fact of like, obviously when I was younger, I didn't know like the inner workings of the business. I did a little bit later on, for like 5-6 years ago, or whatever, 5 years ago. It's elevated, so it's not really comparable, but it's changed for sure. Seeing rumors. I mean, the most fun I've had this year of wrestling was the CM Punk rumors, like over and over again. Every day something new coming out. Oh, the talks have fallen through. Oh, the talks are back. Oh, it's shut off completely.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Easter eggs WWE kept doing, the commentators, all of that. It was really really fun with that. So yeah, I would say it probably elevated it a lot.
What's your favorite promotion right now and why?
WWE. I think a lot of it comes from, that's where I grew my fandom from wrestling, and right now it feels like they're all I need to satisfy my wrestling needs.
Mm-hmm. And we talked about that months ago. You know, I remember the day Triple H took over creative. It was in July, and I sent E a text, and I said, the wrestling business has changed forever, and AEW needs to be scared. And E shot back like, you think so, huh? And I said, yes. I said, because the reason why AEW got so popular and we liked AEW so much was because of the things we were missing from WWE and Vince McMahon. And knowing NXT Black and Gold and taking out the blood and the cursing. I knew that, okay, if he does what we've seen him do, there's your one-stop shop.
Yeah.
And now NXT is back strong. So we just talked about, 17 hours of wrestling programming every single week.
Yeah.
I don't have 17 hours, right? If you're somebody that, okay, I don't have 17.
Yeah.
But I have enough to where I can watch consistently and enjoy what I'm watching. There's nothing outside of non-scripted promos and a little bit of that edge.
As a edginess.
Yeah, AEW does that you can't get from WWE right now. So I think that's a great one. What you guys got?
And I've said before, I think that like we're super fans. Like we're gonna watch AEW and WE, but as we talked about it with Katrina, it's a lot of time to invest if you're that type of fan. Like, right, you got, Matt, both Matts, right? Work, you guys got school, and then you're coming home and you're watching essentially 2 hours of wrestling per day, right? That's a lot of time to invest. I don't think a lot of fans can invest that much time into wrestling. I think at some point, people, they pick a side. Like, you know what?
For sure.
WWE's everything I need. I'm going to devote my 8 hours of wrestling to exclusively that. Maybe I'll catch up on AEW, through social media and through clips, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe AEW, hey, AEW has everything I need. I'm going to devote my 5 hours or whatever it is to AEW and catch up on WWE when I can. I think a lot of people are in that boat.
For sure. And that's why you see the diehards. You got to pick a side. It seems like, sadly, people can't enjoy both. It's kind of rare to see that. I mean, that's what you get on TFW podcast, so you should keep listening.
Hey.
100th episode.
Hey.
You to go.
Show up.
Smart young man.
You
What
to
a smart
go.
young
You
man.
to
Matt's
go.
the
Matt's a
Smart
go.
young man.
Let's go.
Hey, Matthew,
But yeah.
before your... Oh, go ahead, Matthew.
No. Go.
Okay, before your Uncle asks you a question, I do want to ask you, you had mentioned your fandom for wrestling.
Yeah.
Can you walk through or tell us how did you feel the moment we told you that wrestling was predetermined? Do you remember that memory?
Yes.
Oh,
I
wow.
I
remember
remembered this.
I remember it was you guys. We went into your guys' bedroom. I remember we sat on the bed. I remember I was like, at first I thought something was going on between you guys. I was a little worried.
You thought he was
And
getting a
You
divorce?
guys know it's all fine. Yeah, I did. I remember I asked that. Oh, thank God you guys didn't, right? But I remember that it was really like it was intriguing because it was something that felt so weird because I had never gone deep into the thought of what it was. I just looked at it from what it was and just took it, right? I mean, I was still young at the time as well, so it had been nothing for me to do, and I had never like listened to podcasts or had the opportunity to see the logistics behind the business. And it was cool. And I remember the questions I asked afterwards and how Dad explained the Montreal screw job, Undertaker's loss. I remember that he talked about that with Brock. It was really cool to give you the answer. It was really cool. Yeah.
Did you feel like we lied to you? Did you feel like hurt at all?
No, I didn't. No. At least looking on it now, I don't think that's how I felt. But I don't think that's how I felt in the moment. No.
And tell everybody that conversation happened last week.
Actually, like 6 days ago, but close enough.
Matt, you don't know how big of a conversation this was. I remember Matt was agonized over this conversation. How old was he at this point?
Your
Man.
teacher had to try to put wrestling,
Oh,
try to
man.
step on wrestling. And wait, hold on. I gotta tell this
Yeah.
story. Hold on. I don't mean to step on y'all. So I am so sweet and loving as far as like I'm a lover, not a fighter. It
Mhm.
comes up that one of
I can give
Matthew's
the background
teachers.
of it, and you
Go
can
ahead.
say the after part of it.
Go ahead.
So yeah, I remember it was 4th grade. It was homeroom or my first class. I remember the first class of the day was an English class, and I remember we were looking at like different types of stories, and one of them was this guy who fought an alligator, and she was like, "This is real wrestling, not like the fake WWE stuff." And it was towards the end of class. You know, it was like 8 in the morning. I wasn't going for none of that. All right, I was not going for none of that. I was staying on business. All right, I wasn't. No, that's not happening. You're not about to disrespect WWE like that. All right. And so I was like, that's not fake. And I kept going at it. So like, I kept going at her like, it's not fake. And then she was kind of like, it was. And then she was like, go out into the hallway or whatever. And I was like, I was proud of it. And I just like walked out.
Oh my gosh.
So
Got
we
this
fast.
man- Got this man in trouble at school. Defending
So
wrestling.
we fast forward a day or two, and it was parent teacher conference, and I was
No, it
ready.
the same day.
It was the same day.
Yeah.
No, I feel like it was at least regardless. It was fast forward, and so now it's parent teacher conference, and she had a nerve to say, kind of like she had an altercation with Matthew. I asked both the Matts if they could both step out of the room. Y'all remember when y'all left?
Yeah, I remember that. I was saying with
Okay.
Dad.
Yeah,
And I
both of
remember I
y'all
didn't
stepped.
get in much trouble.
I remember, and I was like, Margaret, you eating this? And I just walked out. I had Matt on my shoulders, and we just walked out. We stomped out there. Margaret ain't been the same since.
But
I turned heel on her so hard, and again, like I said, I'm a lover, not a fighter. I was like, well, first off, what you're not gonna do is you're not gonna take my son's innocence away, and you're not gonna say what you said about that. Pro wrestling is something that's special and important to him. How dare you, before his own parents, tell him that pro wrestling is fake? And it's not fake; it's predetermined.
Tell
I
her.
didn't have any more problems that year. I just said.
We did
She
not have
probably-
any problems that year.
hey, Margaret was like, these effing marks.
All right, man. I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked your auntie Katrina. You got only one option.
Yeah.
Okay. You got, and you're a big Cody fan. You're
Mhm.
a Cody guy.
Yeah,
you get Cody finishing the story
Mhm.
at Mania,
Mhm.
or you don't get Cody finishing the story and you get Rock and Roman.
Mhm.
Which one you going with and why?
It's Rock and Roman, and the main reason is I'm gonna not say the whole of all time part because I haven't been around for that long, but it's Roman and Rock because that's the biggest match in wrestling right now, and it can't be topped for years to come. You're looking at somebody who I mean, for about 10 years now, you're looking 9 years, they put their all into Roman Reigns, and they're finally, after like 7-8 years, finally getting the return on investment back. Looking at the biggest storyline in wrestling, the bloodline, there hasn't been anything bigger, and there won't be anything bigger anytime soon, to be honest with you, besides possibly Cody finishing the story, and that has something to do with the bloodline. The bloodline carried that.
Mm.
You have,
Mm.
you have
Cook.
The Rock. Who,
Cook King, Cook Prince, Cook Prince.
every
Go
time The
ahead.
Rock is on anything wrestling related, it's trending. His name's in the news. Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. It's there. He's money, literally, and in this case, giving eyeballs, viewership, breaking records that CM Punk just broke at Survivor Series. This match will change our idea of a super match, because this, on a level of, we're looking at maybe Rock Cena, the first one, once in a lifetime. This is bigger, in my opinion. And I think it may be better as well, because the leading up, the story, how long this has been going for, we looked at this in the beginning of it, knowing what the end goal was. The end goal was head of the table versus, you can probably say the original head of the table if you want to. It's the bloodline. It's the blood. It's the clashing of the two guys. The one who left for Hollywood and is coming back, and it feels real. That's the thing. Even though we know that, they're cousins or whatever, this feels real. This is a real thing. I left, you took over, and now you're overstepping your boundaries within our family. I'm defending our family. I'm defending my bloodline. And without a doubt, I think that's the match.
Very good.
Come on, man.
Sound
You hear that, Eshaun?
sound the horn.
See,
Where the horn at?
He don't want to do it. He a hater. He know right now he should be going crazy on that media board. He don't want to do it though. Last question I have for Matt, and you guys can, if you got anything. What was your favorite in-person wrestling moment of all time?
I think it was just a couple months ago. I see CM Punk coming back at Survivor Series. And I think it has to be that, because it's not that like nothing comes close to it. It's more the thing of how great it was. All night, I was there for every Punk chant the entire time, during the main event, during the women's match, the entire time. I was there. I was waiting. And the way they did it, I know you had called it some months before, but it was perfect. It felt great. It was perfect the way it happened. And to see that it just fell through that morning and nothing leaked, as you kept saying, the saying that goes around, the best kept secret in wrestling up until that time, is without a doubt has to be true. Because we were told the talks fell out weeks before Survivor Series, and everybody was like, okay, And to have seen what transpired, what happened in AEW, it did hurt, because there was few climaxes, and then the rest was just like nothing, because of injuries, because of whatever it was. Time out because of suspension. The highs were high, but the lows it sucked. And so to see him back and see him, the crowd in Chicago, I don't know if there could be a moment bigger than that, besides anything, to be honest with you. There's nothing bigger. It's CM Punk. Bro, it was the news of wrestling until, obviously, the Rock stuff. So, it's without a doubt CM Punk. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you so for being on, my good man.
Of course.
Appreciate you.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Like that. All right. Let's give it up for Matt. Hey, Matt. Oh, there you go.
Hey, wait.
No, wait,
I got
he has
66.
questions for Matt.
I got 66.
Oh,
That's
that's
right.
right.
Sorry,
That's right.
I got the 66 from Matt. And Matt, I do agree with you, because I think we're running out of time with Roman Reigns and this Rock match. Because, like, Rock is damn near 70 years old. We gotta get to him.
Lord.
We gotta get to him soon.
70.
We gotta get to him soon.
Come on.
We gotta get to him as soon as possible. So I agree with you on that.
Sugar daddy.
That's right.
Hey, he is like, he's chiseled though. Like, that man is like he is a rock, right? He is a rock. But man, I got 6 questions for him. I'm gonna take the sexy off for you, because
Thank you.
Rhodesia doesn't want that there. So, but there's 6 questions.
He's a
And
child.
I'm gonna have 2 eyes for you. Now, one of these you've already answered, but I'm gonna ask you right off the bat. So, WWE or AEW?
WWE.
You went WWE. So,
Yeah.
you mentioned earlier because you grew up on it. Now, AEW is usually the young people's promotion.
That have gotten their backs turned on by WWE.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Okay.
That was heavy.
I mean, that's what it is, because in NXT was what AEW was. It was
There we
that
go.
you did my guy wrong, or, the booking wasn't right. I didn't like that. And then Triple H is down here in Florida, and I'm loving what he's doing. And I know I'm going to get what I eventually want. So, yeah.
Hey, Matthew, who was the original GOATs of NXT, though?
Seth Rollins.
Oh, no, never mind. You didn't go for it. Go ahead, E.
Sorry.
You can only watch one wrestling show every week for a month.
For a month.
What will it be?
Okay. SmackDown, because then that's what's going on right now. You're looking at Royal Rumble. That's where LA Knight, AJ Styles, Randy Orton.
You only need to give your thoughts if he asks you why.
Okay.
Hey, Cook King.
All right.
Cook King.
There's no time. Matthew, cook. Go ahead and cook, Matthew. Go cook, Matthew.
Football's coming.
Seth Curry or Magic Johnson?
Steph.
Yes.
Yeah. We're looking at
No.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Steph. Sorry. Get him going.
Come on, let Matthew cook. Let Matthew cook.
I got one for you coming up soon. But next, Tony Khan calls you and lets you decide the main event for this year's Double or Nothing. Right? That's kind of like their biggest show of the year.
Yeah.
Who do you pick?
That's a really good question. Give me MJF and Ospreay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Give me the devil. Well, not the devil anymore.
Oh, please, come on, stop. We don't want more time. No more devils. No more devils.
A quick thing.
All right. One gotta go.
Okay.
LeBron James or Roman Reigns?
Great question.
One gotta go.
Right now, LeBron.
And why?
The Lakers suck. And Roman Reigns is about to have the biggest moment of his career, arguably. LeBron's my guy. He's one of the 3
his
jerseys
favorite
on my wall. But he's not doing nothing right now. Sadly. The Lakers suck.
How many years has he been in it?
20 plus.
So you throwing away this entire man's career for one match, huh?
Not one match. I still have the future Roman. I'm still looking. Right here. I'm pulling the Christian Cage on him.
Okay.
I got some time. We got some time with Roman. He still got WWE on his back. He doing this. Come on now. Come on.
I've seen enough.
All right. Triple H calls you and said, hey, book next year's WrestleMania main event. Who do you got?
Which one? One, because which night?
You pick.
Which night or just two? Can I pick 2 or 1?
I go 2.
2.
Last question.
Okay. Roman and Cody, night 2, and that's when Cody will be able to finish the story.
5 years later, okay.
5 years later, yeah. At least he had to wait his time. And I'd probably pick for that next one. Oh, that's a good question. Give me if she is in WWE, because we don't know yet. Or am I able to use somebody who isn't signed yet to WWE currently?
Maybe you can make it happen. Maybe he'll oh, you know what? I need to make this happen for next year. Go ahead.
All right. Give me Monet and Rhea Ripley. I think that's a mega match in the women's division.
Have we ever had that match before? I don't think we've seen it before, right?
No.
Never seen that.
So I think that would do great. They're both incredible talents.
Can't ask why.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right,
come on. He's
That's
cooking there.
With the grease. So that's the end of the sexy 6 right there, or the non-sexy 6.
9.
Yes, continue to keep listening. Seeing the growth from episode 1 to episode 5 to episode 10, whatever, and now we're here. It's been a great eye to see. It's been really great seeing the growth and being able to go to these events and being able for them to report back on it and to see the growth. Mostly the growth has been truly inspiring and great to see. Because it's you guys that are doing that for them. You know, the hard work is put in. You guys have to listen and interact with the tweets. Follow them on Twitter. That's FNW.
Let's
Follow
go.
the YouTube. Subscribe. Watch this. You can only see us in the flesh if you're subscribed to the YouTube. You can obviously listen. We love the podcast listeners. But come to YouTube. That'd be incredible. Subscribe. It only takes a couple seconds. By the time I'm done talking about subscribing to YouTube, you'd already be subscribed with the noties on. Turn on the post notifications so you can get every upload. The YouTube Shorts, when this happens, some live after we live stream certain pay-per-views afterwards.
Let them know we'll be live streaming on the Rumble. Let them know.
Live stream Rumble after the Rumble show. We're going to have it. We're going to be there. And you better be there too. Because what else are you going to be doing? What else? It's a Saturday night, right?
Saturday night.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're not going to bed. You're
That boy good.
We're
That
gonna
boy
party.
good.
Let's go.
That
I love
boy
all you
good.
guys. I love the people on this panel right now. I love everybody
love
who
you
listens
too.
and supports, likes the tweets, comments, retweets, quotes. Even the haters, you're putting our name out there. At least one person's going to view
You
it.
don't really have haters though.
You're right.
Yeah, we
How
ain't that
could you,
big yet.
right?
We trying though. We trying to get a couple.
But yeah,
No, we
I
had
love
haters
all
when
you
we
guys.
said beautiful Michael to Soraya. We did have some haters there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little rough.
All right, man.
But yeah, it's incredible.
Appreciate you. My man, give me some. Good job, baby.
Good looking out, Matt.
All right, so he kind of set us up perfectly. So we'll kind of just talk about like why we wanted to start this podcast, give our thank yous, and get out of here. For this awesome 100th episode. Once again, Katrina, thank you for being here. Stick around. Matt, thank you for being here. Stick around. So E, let's start with you. So we'll just go E, Rhodesia, and then myself. When we talked about starting this podcast, why did you even want to do a wrestling podcast?
You know what? For me, I got to the point with my career that I just was doing something for 10 hours to 12 hours, sometimes 15 hours a day. Something I just didn't like doing. And I feel that's a lot of time to invest into doing things that you don't want to do. One thing I do love is wrestling. Love wrestling. I thought about being a wrestler, but physically, I just can't do it. I'm too broken down. I got bad knees, bad backs, flat feet. Yeah, I just couldn't do it. And so I thought, like, you know what? I do love talking about wrestling. So maybe I can do that. Maybe I can just, get into wrestling, a sport entertainment form that I love. If I can just do that every day, it's never worked for me because I love doing it. Right? I've been watching wrestling since I've been a very little boy, and I watch it all because I love it all. Like I couldn't WWF at the time. If I could find another promotion, I'll watch that. It didn't matter to me, and I loved it all equally. I never watched one promotion say, "Oh, this wasn't like WWF," or "This wasn't like NWA," or I just love to watch it. So why not get into, a profession that I just love doing? Maybe I can report. Maybe I can just talk about it. So for me, that was something I just wanted to do. And then I brought it to Matt and I said, like, hey, Matt, look, I'm thinking about doing this, man. Like, would you be interested in it? And my brother was like, yeah, I have been thinking about it. And that was the start of it.
So I'll go next then. It's interesting because when this whole thing first came up, initially, I've been wanting to do a podcast with Matt on something else, something on relationships. We've been together for a very long time. And then when wrestling came up, I'm like, and I want to make sure I say this right. And I didn't know it, but wrestling is a part of me. It is me. As far as I'm not a wrestler, no. But for me, I feel like when I go back and look at my youngest teenage years, me watching wrestling, my free time watching wrestling, me going to wrestling shows, I sit back and say, wow, I am a wrestling fanatic. And it came full circle to me when this whole thing first came about in the very infant stages of us trying to plan this. I am absolutely a wrestling fanatic. Now, of course, when the show came up, I'm nervous as hell. My beats per minute, I tell y'all already, every time before we start the show, it's 125, 135. I'm just now starting to stay around 100 to start the show. Because again, the truth of the matter is, people don't want to hear women talking wrestling. People don't want to hear Black women talk about wrestling. But at the end of the day, this is a part of me. So whether I stumble on my words, whether I don't articulate what I want to articulate, if I don't remember certain wrestlers' names and what happened because we have 17 plus hours of wrestling every week, so be it. Because that's me. That's my story. That's who I am. I am a wrestling fanatic. So when the opportunity came up that I was able to talk something with the person I love the most on this planet, it's a fucking no-brainer. Excuse the language. I know Matthew's listening. It's a no-brainer. It was a blessing. And I said it on our thank yous yesterday, to know that I'm able to do this with the people that I love, something that is a part of me. And I have never been ashamed to say that I was a pro wrestling fan. It's a blessing. And thank you, God. Thank you, universe, for giving me this opportunity.
Man, like, should
That
I
was
just
awesome.
like lay out and then like, do we just end the show? Like, I mean, she combined like church on Sunday and thank you.
yeah.
It is
That was supposed to
Sunday.
be just about why you did
and
the
threw F-bomb while doing
She
it. I
sure
love
did
it.
say the Lord,
Yeah.
but tell
The
you,
Lord and effing and one,
Well,
all in
bless ya.
one blow. Woo!
no, just for me, it's this is like what it's supposed to be. And that's kind of like that would be like my answer, right? Like if it was just one sentence, it's what it's supposed to be. And I think you guys will continue to see, if you've been supporters of us, that this is what it's supposed to be. That's the answer. Now, if I wanted to go, of course, a little bit deeper, I've been watching wrestling since I was like, I think 4 years old or something like that. And I know I watch wrestling with a different eye than what's probably normal for somebody who's not, in the business, who's never worked a match or something like that. Actually, I did wrestle a match, but not for
It's pretty awesome too. Actually, we had tables, we had fire, we had ladders. Yeah. It was actually a really great match, Matt.
Yeah, I'll tell that story another day.
Mm.
But yeah, it's what it's supposed to be. So to be able to do it in this situation with these people is like, how can you not? There's a lot of people who don't do what they feel like they should be doing because they're worried about backlash, or they're scared of what if people think this about me. And it's funny because we talked about earlier episodes how a lot of times we don't fit the stereotypical wrestling fan, right? Before wrestling really got back to being mainstream over the last 2 years or so, every single time Rhodesia and I would go out somewhere, we would tell people we're wrestling fans. You would think we had like 3 heads. They'd be like, wow, wrestling? Oh, you guys watch that? I would have never thought you would watch wrestling. And it's our appearance, right? But I've never shied away of telling people that I enjoy wrestling. I actually enjoy any of the, that stuff's fake, right? Like, I like those conversations because then, like, we're going to leave this conversation and you're going to feel stupid for saying that. And not in a disrespectful way, but that's just what it is. So for me, this is what we are supposed to be doing. And this is what I am supposed to be doing right now. And we see it from all of your guys' positive messages. Matt made a comment earlier surrounding all the haters. And yeah, we've had a couple of, negative messages, but when I tell you that our listenership, our Twitter followers, just the comments we get back are overwhelmingly positive. And I think that's the way I lead too. Like, I don't lead with, trying to drum up things for controversy. Right. One of the biggest things that I talked about with this podcast was we have to be our authentic selves, and there is no caricatures of us, right? We're not coming on here playing a character. And I understand playing a character gets you views. It gets you listens. That's fine. But we're also going to do it our way. And our way is going to get us where we're going to get to, right? And I know that I'll be able to say, I never said or did anything to compromise what I believe in and what I want this show to be. So that's that part of it. Let's give out thank yous. Eshaun, who would you like to thank?
I want to thank my beautiful wife for always supporting me. She's my biggest cheerleader on any venture that I make, professionally, personally. She always encourages me. A lot of times, like, I'm overly future thinking. Like, right, I always think about, like, all right, if I do this today, what's going to happen next week, next month? So sometimes if the lane to that future state isn't perfect, I won't entertain it sometimes. But my wife is always the one that kind of say, hey, trust in God and believe in the path and believe in yourself. And so she didn't give me that belief in myself to do this, step outside myself off with me doing this. So it's for her and for God for blessing me with great friends to do this with in our journey. And we've met a lot of people in the journey. This is an early journey, right? 100 episodes. That's great. But we've met a lot of really cool people that's been on this journey with us. I had a lot of friends that really support our venture. Brandon being one of them. Fons who always retweets our stuff. Tyler and Brad. We just met so many guys along this journey that really have helped support us. So I want to just thank everybody who's been there for us day one, our family, and continued support. It really means a lot.
I'm gonna go quick, even though I have a full Grammy speech in my 1984 Grammy outfit.
MJ from Grammys 1984 looking fantastic over there.
Okay. Let me go through the fast ones real quick. As far as coming onto the pod, we have Tyler, Brad, we have our homie, our brother Brandon, we have Ryan, we have some people when we met at WrestleMania weekend, Andres and everybody we met through there. As far as in my life and in my family, first off, I want to thank little Matthew. This kid is just, I always joke and call him my greatest creation from Iron Man, but he's my greatest creation because he gives me so much inspiration in a day. He fuels me to challenge certain things. If I hear the stories of at dinner time where he's like, "Oh my, you need to say that on the pod, then you need to say it like that. Stop talking all your stuff now and say it on the pod." But he gives me that inspiration to want to do that and to step out and maybe even sound weird if I have to sound weird. The love of my life. We've been together since 2001. We argue on the day that we met, but we know that it was 2000. I have became a woman since oh God, okay.
Oh, we about to get the tears going. Look at that Prosecco. That Prosecco hidden. That seventh Grammy from Mike is hidden. He's like, man, I'm breaking history right now.
Yes. I have become a woman while you've been by my side. Damn. We've just been, I just put up a picture that before our 10th wedding anniversary, it was the decade of destruction. We about to hit 2 decades of destruction. Ooh. Like, man, this is it. When I leave this planet and this version of me, I'm gonna say, God, thank you for giving me Matt as my other human in this planet. That's all I'm gonna say.
How beautiful was that?
That was beautiful.
How beautiful was that?
Hey, E, where's your Draco at? I gotta get hard. I gotta get hard. Where's that Draco at, E?
The Draco ain't working.
Oh, man.
He in repair shop.
So, yeah, for me, it's E, for you too, of course. But E, thank you for...
Thank you, E.
Making sure that these pods get fully put up like they're supposed to. E is the one that puts our podcast up, the full episodes on YouTube, does it on the podcast platforms. So, and I still know how to do the full episodes. I can figure out some of the stuff on YouTube, but episodes, it is that guy. So I appreciate you for that, because if it wasn't for that, then we wouldn't be able to get this out. So I appreciate that for you. Rhodesia, outside of just being on the podcast, which was a big deal to me, is making sure that we had a female voice on here when we started this. It's just being there outside the pod in regards to the podcast. I put a lot into this podcast. I put a lot into our Twitter, and I do that for us, right? The show is not called Matt and the TFW podcast. This is the TFW podcast, and she is there to hear me either bitch and moan or congratulate ourselves when something happens really good. But I am always thinking about how to get the best content for you guys who listen and watch every single day. And I will continue to do that because it is not lost on me. I see the download numbers. It is not lost on me that a lot of you brought in your Christmas with us. It is not lost on me. A lot of you brought in Thanksgiving with us. It is not lost on me. A lot of you brought in New Year's Eve and New Year's Day with us. So if you guys are willing to press play on a holiday, you best believe I am willing to put in 100% my time and energy to making sure that I give you something that you are proud of to listen to, and you can laugh with it, you can joke with it, you can curse at your phone or your device because you don't agree with what we're saying, but you know it's going to be entertaining somehow, some way at the end of the day. And at the end, I want to thank anyone who's listening and everyone who's listening. We do this for you guys. There is no other reason why we do this. When I get messages on YouTube that says, man, this is so cool to see, you three that look like me, for me to find you guys, and you guys are hilarious. Hey, I just found you guys, and you guys have incredible takes. See that on Twitter, see that on YouTube. That is the motivation that I would need going forward, and I won't need anything else. Yes, our plan is to take this much bigger than what it is. And you guys will see, of course, a lot of that in future episodes and the weeks and months to come. But at the end of the day, thank you guys. Because if nobody's listening, then we're talking to the black hole. And our listenership and our viewership has significantly moved up over the last few months. And that is, once again, a testament to you guys spreading the word. I say it every single episode. I give my thanks. That is not just, hey, you should thank people. No, I mean from the bottom of my heart. And I always say, you know, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a family member, right? Because I do know that the best way to get information out there outside of just regular marketing is word of mouth. And I appreciate each and every one of you that do that. So that is the 100th episode of the TFW podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You were able to spend some time with Katrina. You're able to spend some time with little Matt Jr. And of course, you're able to spend some time with us three the hard way. Myself, Matt, Rhodesia, and Eshaun. And as quick as 100 went, it's like night 2 of WrestleMania, right? All right, we get a day to celebrate and we back at it. Because on Wednesday, we got some things to talk about. And then next week, don't forget, we are doing a watch along for Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. We'll talk about that on X, so I'll give you guys information on that. And then we are going to give you guys the top 20 of all time superstar list that we have, the three of us, and we'll kind of have that conversation. And then we double back with that to the Royal Rumble post live show. Right after the Royal Rumble, we will have a special guest on that show as well that you've heard of numerous times on this here podcast. So until then, we love you guys 100%, and we'll be back on Wednesday. Peace.
Woo! Love y'all. Love y'all so much.
Confetti. You didn't see my confetti, but
oh yay!